During the making of Requiem for a Dream in 2000, Aronofsky purchased the rights to Kon Satoshi's Perfect Blue 1997 in order to recreate this compelling sequence. However, when Aronofsky released Black Swan in 2010, fans couldn't help but notice the similarities between it and Perfect Blue. Both stories are about a character that aspires to be something more than what she is currently. However, in order to do this, she must sacrifice her innocence through a forcefully sexual charged way.
Surprise yourself so you can surprise the audience. Transcendence. And very few have it in them.
I think I do have it in.
Go home and touch yourself.
In doing so, the character starts to lose grip of reality and sees a hallucinatory double that mocks her constantly, driving her to the edge. Eventually, she kills the other using a glass shard and achieves stardom. What's interesting here is that even with similar themes of split personalities, both directors use similar techniques such as mirrors, but also dissimilar techniques such as temporal editing for Kon Satoshi and breaking the 180-degree rule for Darren Aronofsky.
Want to spruce up?
In 2010, Christopher Nolan released his newest thriller, Inception, a movie about dreams and how one could enter a dream in order to manipulate the dreamer. In 2006, Kon Satoshi's first international success was with his animated film Paprika, a movie also about dreams and how one could enter a dream in order to manipulate the dreamer. The very first scene of both films starts out to be in a dream. Next, there is a scene where the glass wall shatters. After that, there is a distorted hallway scene. Both directors use an elevator to act as a means of transportation between memories. The characters share the dream through the use of technology. In both films, we find the idea of injecting into the subconscious.
If
you can steal an idea from someone's mind, why can't you plant one there instead?
Okay. Both protagonists have a dream persona. Both films have a universal unconscious, literally translated into a place where all dreams are shared and merged. And finally, there is a theme of falling, whereas in Inception, it is through the kick.
It's that feeling of falling you get that jolts you awake. It snaps you out of the dream.
In Paprika, it is quite literal. Although both films seem to have crossing items, Nolan has stated that he had started writing Inception immediately after finishing his 2000 thriller, Memento. He has also admitted to never having seen Paprika. The Hunger Games, which was released in 2012, and Battle Royale, which was released in 2000, have a strikingly similar storyline with similar themes, characters, and scenes. Both films start with text that explains that an authoritative group decreed an organized democide through random selection in order to assert and reaffirm their dominance over the lesser powers. The democide is referred to as a game.
no one watches, then they don't have a game. It's as simple as that.
There is a heavy militarism theme that shows military personnel escorting and enforcing the gathering of players. There are two main characters that we focus on, their roles reversed, that are involved in a love triangle. However, where in one film the third wheel stayed behind, the other film killed him off. The main character's father is dead. There is an overseer character that tracks the players within a control room, an overly enthusiastic game announcer, an experienced player that helps the protagonists, and a mysterious character who volunteered to be in the game for pleasure. There is a scene where the players are given survival gear backpacks, a scene where the protagonist heals his or her wounded love interest inside of a cave, and finally a scene where the protagonists find a way to beat the system. After Sergio Leone had just released A Fistful of Dollars in 1964, he received a note from Kurosawa Akira that read, "You made a fine film. Unfortunately, it is my film." The film Kurosawa is referring to is his 1961 period drama Yojimbo. Neither Leone nor his producers asked for permission and was subsequently sued for plagiarism. A Fistful of Dollars is now considered an unofficial remake of Yojimbo. Here are the similarities. Our hero arrives at the outskirts of a village where he drinks water and observes his surroundings. As he enters the ghost town, the villagers look at him behind closed doors. The hero then realizes there is violence and death lurking here. The village announcer greets the hero. The hero is then confronted by thugs. The hero gets information from the tavern keeper. He kills the thugs. The hero gets hired by the opposing gang. He then quits the gang after overhearing a plot to kill him. Eventually, both gangs decide a truce, but our hero tricks both gangs into fighting each other again. As a result, the son of one family gets kidnapped but is traded for a mistress who has a family she can't return to. The hero then decides to reunite the mistress with her family and send them away. The hero gets caught and tortured, but eventually escapes by first crawling underneath floorboards and then out of town hidden in a coffin. He then finds out that the tavern keeper is being held captive and goes back to kill the remaining gang. Finally, the hero defeats the gang, killing everyone, and then just leaves the town in the wake of its own destruction.